So I saw someone on Twitter say that one of the things that they like about First Kill is that there isn't a huge age gap between the vampire and their love interest. It's not like, oh, I'm centuries old and I've already done this 300 times and it's your first time, so good for you. You know, it's very much more equal. And I wanted to know what you think of that take.
Well, I do understand where they're coming from, and I love, at least for the story of like Cows and Juliet, I love that it's the young love, it's teenage love. You know, it's new, it's fresh, it's still like experimental to the both of them. They're still getting to know themselves and getting to know who they are in this new like found relationship. But I do kind of think it's a little funny sometimes when like they're like, yeah, I'm 1,000 years old and you're 30. You know, so I can see the humor in that. But I mean, what are you gonna do? It's true love.
Yeah.
How did you find out you were cast in First Kill? Was it just like the phone call and then, oh God?
It was a little bit of a process. Well, usually my agent will call me. Once I see that phone ring, it's my agent. I'm like, hey man, what's going on? You know what I mean? So I think I got a call from my agent. He was like, guess what?
You were into it?
Yeah, of course. I was like, I think once I made it to the chemistry read, I was like, I want it so bad. Like, I think once I got the call back, I was like, okay, I'm getting close. Now I really want it. Like, I'm loving the story. I read the script. Like, I've read the pilot. I want it so bad. And then after the chemistry read, I was sold. I was like, I love Calliope's story on her own. I love her dynamic with Juliet. I love her relationship with her family. I love the representation in the entire story. I just loved everything about it. I had to be out.
Yeah, I was just at the panel and the love that you received from the audience, it was amazing. Like, did you expect that at all? Were you nervous beforehand?
Oh, I didn't expect any of that. It's so electric, and they make you feel so loved. Like, they make you feel every bit of love that they have for these stories, for these characters, for you. Like, they really bring their, like, the best energy. And I just was feeding off their energy. They are just such lovely individuals. Like, the FK fandom is, like, unmatched. I was a little nervous. Not nervous. I think just anxious.
Yeah.
Anxious. Like, I'm so excited to hear their questions. I'm excited to see what they think about the show and, to see their feelings now that they know about the, like, cancellation and stuff like that. Like, I feel like the fans see things in the show that I didn't even pick up on until maybe the second or third watch. You know what I mean? Like, they have such interesting questions. Such interesting perspectives.
And, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was lucky enough to be at your meet and greet for a few seconds. Can you tell us how you experienced that? Because for me, as an outsider, it was already very beautiful.
Yes, I loved every bit of it because I feel like we see so much interaction on social media, and it makes it feel so like far because it's people from all over the world. But for us to all be in the same room and to, like, just like I said, like, feel their energy in front of me, they're so sweet and they're so fun and they're so interesting and so kind and bring such awesome gifts. And just have such awesome personal stories that they were, like, kind enough to share with me about, like, their own stories and how the show moved them and where they see themselves in these characters or in these stories. And it's just, it makes it all worthwhile. That's what we do this for, to inspire, to influence, to make people feel good.
So how familiar were you with queer TV culture before you just were thrown into this world of congratulations, now you're going to have a group of fans for the rest of your life?
I think, I really don't know. I think in like my personal life, I grew up around just like I grew up going to ballroom scenes and like voguing competitions and things like that. So none of that seemed foreign to me. Like I grew up, like I was not even a teenager yet and I was going to these shows. But I just saw them as, wow, they're so talented and they have so much energy and they make these incredible costumes. So I think when it came to like the world outside of like my personal life, I never really thought about like, this is like a queer show or I was like, no, these are just amazing people doing amazing things, you know what I mean?
Right, that's probably part of why so many people have resonated with it, is that one of the things we're always desperate for is we want representation that just is us and lets us see ourselves.
Yeah, and the queerness doesn't have to be the point of conflict, you know what I mean? That doesn't have to be like the point of the story. Like, in First Kill, the point is that she falls in love with something she's supposed to kill. That's the problem, you know what I mean? Like, that's the bigger issue here, you know what I mean? Like, and I think it was important that we saw that, like, normalized in terms of, like, their sexuality. Like, that is not the topic at hand, you know?
Yeah.
Just another detail.
Did you go to the Save First Kill stand already? Or?
I did! I got a tat!
Yeah, me too! Which one did you get?
I got both of them!
Yeah, cool.
I got 2 tats, and I love them so much.
Yay!
Oh, yeah. I have my pin.
Yes!
What else? I have a sticker on the back of my phone.
Oh, wait.
I'm so excited. Like, they're so sweet. This fandom, I don't deserve. I don't deserve them. They're so kind and so compassionate and just so sweet and so fun. And put so much thought. It's so intentional and it's so thoughtful, and it just makes it all worthwhile. Like, I'm forever indebted to the first girlfriend.
Yeah, they're passionate. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If nothing else.
Yeah.
Very passionate.
Yeah.
So I work for Let's Watch TV. I watch a lot of queer television.
Awesome.
I watched through half of First Kill. I was working and I had it up on the screen and I'm just like stopping writing, and turning around, going, "These kids are amazing."
Oh, thank you.
But because of seeing all this TV, I have to admit that I have seen over 50 queer versions of Romeo and Juliet, and this is one of my favorites.
Oh.
Because you took that simple story of two houses, very powerful families, and then all of a sudden everything goes off the rails in every single way.
Yeah.
But you said that you grew up going to voguing and ballroom, which is fantastic. How much of yourself did you get to put into your character? How much did you get to pull from all of your familiarity with queerness and get to be that?
I think a whole lot. Again, like, because I grew up in these kind of environments, the people that I live and die for are in these communities. And I didn't mind having these kind of open conversations and being like, am I doing this gracefully? Does this make sense? Does this feel cliche? You know, like, or even being on set, like, behind the scenes, hair, makeup, wardrobe, first ADs, COVID safety, they were all in the LGBTQ community. So I feel like we had nothing but like protection, or like people to tell us like, this makes sense. No, you're hitting the nail. You know what I mean? Like, we feel seen. We feel you're doing it right. You're doing it right. And I feel like that, and just I think with any project that I enter, I try to handle it with grace and with care and with respect, because it's somebody else's art. This is somebody's story. And when people watch the show, I feel like they're going to see these characters and feel like that's their story. So I think, although I had my own, you know, I feel like I relate to Calliope on so many different levels, or discipline, or just being in the kind of industry where you're constantly trying to prove yourself. You know, being an actress, you're literally auditioning, showing someone else what you just did in the mirror 8 million times the night before, just to show them that you're capable of doing it. You'll do 101 of those auditions and not get one. But it builds that resilience. It builds that discipline. It builds all these things in you. So I think because I had those parts of me in my real life, I was able to embody that in Calliope, that resilience, that discipline, that diligence.